Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Toolbox Talk for business owners, where we try to help business owners navigate the complexities of just operating their business, right? So, one thing I've been hearing about, it started out this past summer, is this beneficial owners information report. And I heard about it this summer. Some of the stuff I read, it was not going to make it through the court system, so we didn't really need to worry about it. It had come back up this week. So I reached out to Aaron, Aaron Coates, a tax strategist here, to kind of help, really shine light. Do we need to do this or do we not need to do this? So it's hard to get the information. So I wanted to talk to Aaron here, get his get his thoughts on this, kind of learn more about it, what it is, because for a lot of us, that are just operating a business, this is not our normal day to day. So I wanted to talk to him, get him in here. So Aaron, welcome. Introduce yourself if you would, please, sir.
Yeah, so I'm Aaron Coates. My company is called FBKS LLC. If you want to actually find us online, it's you should try thisguy.com. That is the website. So I am a tax strategist, as Toby has said, and do a lot of things with businesses as far as taxes or CFO work or just accounting work, making sure that people are doing the right thing when it comes to the government with or IRS.
Awesome. Sounds good, Aaron. So let's dive right into this and kind of figure out the ins and outs. And then also toward the end of it, Aaron's also going to help walk us through this so we know what to do when we need to file it. So Aaron, let's first talk about what is the beneficial owner's information report, and why do we need to file it?
So the beneficial owner information report is uh, pretty much what happens is that the IRS you're allowed to be able to utilize trusts. You're allowed to be able to utilize single member LLCs to pretty much hide a little bit of who the actual owner is. By doing that, there's actually been a lot of people who have utilized LLCs in the wrong way. They've utilized it to do either, some people have said drug smuggling, some people have said, traffic rings, like just a bunch of different things there. So the IRS is really trying to track down who these owners are to be able to, probably prosecute them. I don't know the rest of it, but hey, we're just following what has been said.
Right, trying to not to get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Uh, so. Yeah, that's pretty much what the beneficial owner report is for right now. Because if they even tried to like if the IRS had to go through all these like loops and like the paper trails that they had to find, there's some people who they wouldn't be able to find any because of, utilizing trust.
Okay.
Because once it gets to trust, it's really hard to figure out who owns that trust, who's the beneficial owner of it.
So there's a lot of paper trail right there for them to really get to the bottom of it. So right here, they're just trying to make us do their work and kind of streamline their process a little bit at the end of the day.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Aaron, let me ask you this: who is considered a beneficial owner that needs to report?
So beneficial owners are anybody who owns 25% or more of an LLC, a corporation, or a partnership. Those people, partnerships, they're a little bit harder to deal with, but those people are the people who need to file it. So it can't be a trust. So it has to be an actual individual. If it's not the individual, then they're not going to be able to file at all. And I'll show you later as to the reason why it has to be that individual.
Okay, so if you're 25% owner or more.
Yep.
So Aaron, in talking to this, when is a company required to file this initial BOI report?
So they are required to do it if they started, if their LLC business started before January 1st, 2024. They have until December 31st, 2024 to file this initial report. Uh, any other business that was started in 2024, they have 90 days to report it. And starting in 2025, any new business that starts in 2025, they are required to file it within 30 days of the formation date.
Okay. So for the companies that have been established, their end date will be January 1st of this year or December 31st.
Yeah.
So at the end of this year. If it was started during 24, you got a little bit more leeway in that. And then after the first of the year, if people want to do this, it's pretty much you need to do that when you file your LLC paperwork or anything else. You just need to go ahead and get it
Yep.
knocked out.
Yep. It's best even right now. If you do one right now, just turn around, just go and file it.
All part of it. Okay.
Yep.
Um, let's say there's changes to the beneficial owners of the entity. What do they need to do if there's some change in ownership there?
Yeah, so when there is a change in ownership, so after you file the initial report and then there's a change in ownership, what happens is that we need to go and submit a amendment to the BOI report. There is a little button that says this is being the amendment to it. You just have to, and I can show you guys when we actually like walk through it. I'll show you that button. You just have to go and file that amendment. And that's all you have to do. You have to do that within 30 days of the change.
Okay. Aaron, going back just a step there, you said anybody that owns at least 25% of this entity. So if you've got multiple people obviously owning 25% or more, do they need to go in each individually doing this themselves?
No, so you have one filing. So there's one filing per entity. And
Okay.
that filing, you have to have every single individual that needs to be added, you have to add them onto the report.
Okay. Gotcha. So that'll detail all the owners within that one single filing, that one single report.
Correct.
Okay. Here's the eye-opening thing for a lot of people right here. Let's talk about the potential penalties, Aaron. So, as we both know, this is going to get in your pocket really, really quick. So let's talk about these penalties here.
Yeah, so the penalties are pretty steep. What those penalties are is that if you don't file within that by December 31st of this year for those that were already started in or before 2024 or within 90 days or within 30 days, it's $591 a day is the penalty for not filing.
That's going to get in your pocket real quick.
Oh yeah,
That's going
so
to get your attention.
because you're looking at, let's just say it's 1 week late. That's 591 times it by 7. That's 3,500. That's more than $3,500 right there.
Yep. Real quick, that's going to get to you. So, Aaron, I know myself, along with a lot of people, like you hear this, it's a little bit intimidating filling out any paperwork for these programs. So let's kind of talk about this a little bit. I know you're going to share your screen. We're going to kind of walk through this with some dummy information here, just to kind of give people an idea of what's in front of them. What information they're going to need to have on hand. When they sit down and start filling this out, because this is something you need to do. Put this on your calendar, get this done this year. December is coming up, quickly staring us in the face. So you got to get this done to get away from these penalties. So, Aaron, let's go ahead and share your screen. Let's walk through this a little bit and show them what we got.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So this is what's called the FinCEN, website. It's boiefiling.fincen.gov. So this part right here is where you have to go. So you have to go here to be able to go do the BOI report. From here, there's kind of two different parts that you can go. I'm just going to go here because this is kind of like the easiest way. If you have multiple businesses, you have to do this. It's best to go get what's called a FinCEN ID. I didn't have that up. Of course, it wants to take a little bit because this is a government website.
Yes.
You can come and create the FinCEN ID. It just kind of makes it a lot easier. And that way you get it right away. If you have multiple businesses, you have to file this for.
Okay.
You do have to have a login.gov account to be able to do it. It's because it's a lot of personal information. At least on this side of it, you need it for that. If you're just doing the BOI filing and you just want to do that right away, You go back to, BOI efiling.fincen.gov. You click where I had before, which is the file BOIR, and we're going to do this electronically. Most people want to do it electronically because you don't want to have to go deal with mailing it off. Nobody wants to mail things anymore.
Yeah, nowadays you don't even know when the mail's going to get there. So at least this way it's there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we're going to click on this to prepare. And this is where I was talking about before, where we're correcting, we're updating, we're doing whatever we need to here. So we're going to click on its initial report
Okay.
because this is what it is. Like most people are going to do initial reports. If you've already done the initial report and you need to update it, you would come and say update prior report
Okay.
to be able to do what we have to there. The date, of course, is auto-filled, and we're going to say next. Now, on here, and this is where you're going to need most of the information kind of on hand. We're going to need to have for the business, you have to have the legal name. So whatever that legal name is with the Secretary of State, you're going to need to have your EIN number to be able to do it. And then you're going to need to have the address that you have with the Secretary of State. Having these things on hand right away is what's going to help make this a whole lot easier. Of course, we're going to use dummy information. So this is why it's going to be really quick for us to do this.
For sure.
So we're going to say Joe Smith LLC. All right. Where our tax identification number is the EIN. There are some people who have an LLC and they don't have the EIN. You're going to use the Social Security number of the owner.
Okay.
The EIN number, it's a 9-digit number, and you do have to put it in the right format. Tax ID must be exactly 9 numbers. That's exactly 9 numbers. I guess it's saying here. There you go. Do it that way. If it is a foreign ID, you do have to say what the foreign ID is. You put the country. The country is United States of America. You put the state. We're going to say Texas because that's where we are. If you are formed as a tribe, a local or tribal information, you just have to put that information there. Address. We're in Mansfield. I'm just going to use it. You're in the United States. We're in Texas. And the zip code. All right. So next, after the reporting company, we have the company application. If you file, this is not a new company in 2024. So this is the company you've had before 2024. All you have to do is say, click that, saying, yes, this is an existing company. And what happens is that all of these information gets grayed out, so you don't have to put anything in.
Okay.
If it's not, and this is a new company that you just formed, you need to fill in all of this information. And that's where having the FinCEN ID already created, you just come, you put your FinCEN ID here, and then you don't have to worry about the rest of this 2 times on new companies.
Okay.
I'm going to say this is an existing company, and we're going to go to beneficial owner report. Now, if you have multiple beneficial owners, you do have to say add beneficial owner.
Okay.
And by adding the beneficial owner, you'll have beneficial owner 1, number 2, number 3, however many that needs to be there that own 25% or more. That's where you add it there.
That'll open up the additional boxes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Having the FinCEN ID again, you put it here. You don't need to put in any other information here. Now, if you don't have it and you just want to go and add it, you do have to fill in all the information. You have to have whatever ID type that you have, which could be a state issued driver's license, a local tribe issued ID, US passport, foreign passport, whatever that is. You have to state what it is. You have to put what the identifying number is. And then from there, you're going to say, where is the identifying document put from? Is it a state? Usually people are just going to use their driver's license. I'm just going to say Texas. And then you would add you would add the image of your driver's license. So it could be a JPEG, could be a PDF, could be a PNG, whatever.
Okay.
Uh, those have to be added there.
Okay.
So once you have everything added, of course, I could go and add this. That's all pretty easy for people to be able to know their legal name, date of birth, and address. So once all that's done, you get to the submit part of it. You say what your email is. You know, first name, last name. That way, you get a copy of the report that you're filing, and then you just say you're agreeing to it. You have to say you're a human, just because, and then you submit it.
Okay.
What will happen then is that it will show on the page saying that it's been submitted, and it will send you an email. I
Okay.
would receive the email, and I would print the page. Two
Gotcha.
ways
Keep that
to be able to
documented.
have copies of it.
Yes. So really, it doesn't take that long to go through this, assuming that you have that information in front of you. One's going to be the correct address that your LLC was filed under. Go ahead and scan and have your ID there ready to upload as well. From there, it's your EIN number. So have your basic information there ready to go, and then you
Yeah.
could probably. I mean, you've obviously have done this several times, but for the average person that has it, if they have all that information, we're probably looking at 10 minutes or so to get this knocked out.
Yeah, you could be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. It's not like it's going to take you a super long time. Unfortunately, it's just like just having the information. Having the
Yeah.
information then makes it a lot easier to do.
Okay. All right. Aaron, seeing that we went through all this and we've got a good idea, how to fill this out, is there any information that you need to kind of put out there, directing business owners, with anything further regarding this?
Don't be afraid to do it.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt you. I know a lot of people are very concerned about having their personal information out there for people. This is only for the government, for our federal government, and that is it. This does not go for states. There are only times that somebody will ever be able to come and get any information from this is if there is some type of loss, not like individual lawsuit, like a federal lawsuit going against the business or something like that. That's the only time that this information would ever be there.
Okay. And it's no different than all this information is already out there in different channels. So it's nothing that we inputted right here is any different than is not already on your LLC paperwork.
Correct. It's all the same information that's not directly on the LLC paperwork. It goes LLC paperwork does not have your date of birth or have any of that information with the state. But the IRS does have, they have your EI or your social security number. They have your date of birth. They have all that information when it comes down to the beneficial owner. It's just going back to the fact that the IRS doesn't always have all of the information that is able to help direct, those like the attorney general or whoever needs this information to help stop, all those problem LLCs.
Right. Right. Well, Aaron, I appreciate it. I think this is going to help a lot of business owners just being aware of what's out there, how to walk through this. It's not as intimidating after you kind of see it and we're able to walk through it there with you. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on and showing the business owners, more in detail what this is. And more importantly, let's hit again that fine is almost $600 per day. So don't let this get away from you. Let's sit down. I'll put the website that you can find all this information in the bottom of the video as well in the notes section. We'll get it put in there somewhere so it's easily found, and you can get this knocked out and save yourself a tremendous amount of trouble. So, Aaron, thank you again.
Absolutely. You're welcome, Toby.
Thank you.